so next we've got a task 2 essay, discuss both views and give your opinion. Okay, so this is quite a nice structure to your essay. So you need to make sure that you're clearly stating your opinion, but that you are discussing both sides of it. So it's the classic 4-paragraph structure. Introduction, body 2 would be, side A. Body 3 would be side B. And then paragraph 4 would be your conclusion. Typically, you tend to do first, you say the side you disagree with, and then last you finish on the side you do agree with. That's the sort of typical structure that you do, where you say, some people think A, some people think B, and then you talk about, A people say that, da-da-da-da-da, and then you switch to, however, in reality, side B people, da-da-da-da-da, okay? So you tend to do the side you disagree with first. Make sure in your introduction to give your opinion, that's crucial. And then in the side that is your opinion, also repeat your opinion. Okay, in body 1 or body 2. Okay, so it's clear throughout. Don't surprise me in the conclusion. Some candidates do this very sort of, boring strategy where you say in your introduction, some people think A, some people think B. This will be discussed. And then they do A people think. Body 2, B people think. And then it's only in their conclusion that they say, overall, I believe that, da-da-da. No, tell me your opinion in your introduction, in one of your bodies, and then repeat it in your conclusion, okay? Essays are supposed to be informative and in some ways sort of, you're supposed to be telling me something. So in this case, tell me what your opinion is. So let's take a look at the topic. Some people prefer to spend their lives doing the same things and avoiding change. Others, however, think that change is always a good thing. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion, okay? This is quite a nice topic, really. There's quite a lot, to say about it. And I think a lot of people have an opinion on whether they like change or not. So let's see what this candidate has done. There are divided views on the change and regarding this issue. There are divided views on change, okay? Regarding this issue, there is a group of people who argue that avoiding change is much better than trying something new, okay? I think that trying something new is a good, nice paraphrase of change. That's nice. However, for some people, it seems that they are holding a different opinion as they say that change is fine. It seems that they hold a different opinion as they state that change is fine. In this essay, both arguments will be observed and detailed and discussed in detail. Okay. The thing that's missing here is what's your opinion? Okay, tell me what your opinion is going to be. Okay. Overall, I like this sort of the background information is good. They've tried to do some interesting sentence structure. So I like that they've tried to do some clauses. They've tried to sort of write a more complex sentence. So I would want to give points for a more complex sentence. Okay, let's take a look at their body 1. On the one hand, okay, good links, solid, nothing wrong with starting with it on the one hand. It has been argued by the first group of people that changing has adverse impacts on people's lives. Adverse impacts, good vocabulary, and to be precise, some changes contribute to people's unstable lives. Okay, this is quite nice. Contribute, unstable lives. This has got like a nice, clause in it. So it's a nice complex sentence, which is good for their grammar. Okay. Change is not only a lot of risk, but also enormous success with a half and half chance. A lot of risks, good, enormous success. In other words, it looks like a double-edged sword. Ooh, double-edged sword. Okay, this is an example of that sort of like more advanced vocabulary because it's more sort of specialist. This is like a sort of not a typical phrase or word to use, but it's a very good phrase. It looks like a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword meaning that it has both a benefit, but also it comes with a downside. So it's kind of like something used to describe a risk that's quite risky. Double-edged sword. So that's a very good use of vocabulary. Eventually, through the challenge, if people achieve their goal, the change will be the best choice. But ironically, good word, it could also bring desperation and disappointment to people. Eventually, through the challenge, they feel that the change might be. Be more cautious. Therefore, people have to make a decision in terms of something they have not experienced ever before, consider seriously and carefully they have not experienced before, and consider seriously and carefully to achieve a successful result. Okay. Overall, I think this is a really interesting, logical, well-argued body 1. I like the argument. It all makes sense logically. There's some very good vocabulary in here. There's a couple of sort of odd sentence choices, but I can tell this candidate is really trying to use complex sentences and mix up their sentence structure, which is nice. They are sort of in this thing, though, where they've constantly got this little thing of adding these little things in the middle. They do have a sort of similar structure going on in some of their complex sentences, but I do appreciate that they're really trying to use complex sentences. Despite the above argument, others, including myself, opinion. Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for entering the essay. Contend that change in life is necessary. By changing their normal life differently, such as studying abroad and traveling, people will experience an unexpected situation always, which helps people to tackle other problems wisely based on creative thinking skills. Okay, despite that, others, including myself, contend that change in life is necessary. Okay, contend that. Good. Nice sentence. By changing their normal life, we don't need to say changing and then differently. By changing their normal life, such as studying abroad, or you're giving decisions such as traveling or traveling, people may experience unexpected situations. Always, they don't always experience, which can help people to tackle other problems wisely based on creative thinking skills. Consequently, these various special situations are a good bedrock. Okay, nice vocabulary to think creatively. Absolutely. Again, we've got a weird, I don't think we need that word. In addition, people may meet numerous people who come from different countries, in particular through the change in location of living in a place. Through changing the location of where they live, which can lead to the opportunity to share another idea and broaden their perspective. Okay, so again, this is sort of like well argued. It makes sense. It's logical. They've really gone for the theme of creative thinking as a benefit of change, and broadening their imagination and mentally they've talked about that kind of benefit. So I like the way that they've started on their theme of change improves your way of thinking, and they've really sort of gone into detail about that and explained specifically why change can help you. So they've given specific examples of meeting different people, of like dealing with unexpected situations. So in terms of task achievement, this is very good. Again, in terms of vocabulary, good. We've got more grammar issues coming in this paragraph, and odd sentence structures. I don't understand, for example, why this absolutely was put at the end of the sentence. This always was odd. This whole part of the sentence was confusing, and I had to sort of think about it as I was writing it. So we've got more grammar issues creeping in, which is a shame because everything else is looking quite good. Let's look at the conclusion. After considering both views, it seems difficult and challenging to make a final decision on such a topic. Ooh, this is like a nice start to a conclusion. I like it. However, it is my personal opinion that change has a positive impact on people's lives by changing people's repetitive and boring lives into getting the will of their lives and the change of perspective. I'm not sure what they mean by here, the will of their lives and changing their perspective. Okay. So overall, I think this is a good conclusion. I really like that they've included their opinion. This is like a nice sentence to introduce the conclusion. They've explained their opinion, and they've then talked about the why. Why do they have their opinion, which is good, and I appreciate it. It's just this one area here at the end of the sentence. I'm not really sure what they mean. So overall, we look at task achievement. It's very well argued, logical, structured, well explained, detailed points. I want to give a 7 for task achievement. Coherence and cohesion. Again, I thought it was great. I thought they left their opinion a little bit late to come in terms of creating a coherent essay. But I thought it all hung together very well. They had good transitions. So for coherence and cohesion, I probably want to give a 6.5. Their vocabulary I thought was excellent. I would want to give a 7 for vocabulary. And it was just their grammar was really sort of letting them down, especially towards the end. So I would probably bump them down to a 6 for grammar, just because towards the end, their sentence structure was getting a little bit dodgy. So I would just advise this candidate to review, especially their third paragraph, and check out their sentence structure. It was getting a bit dodgy towards the end. So overall, I think this is going to bring them out at a 6.5 overall. I'm just going to actually have to check on my calculator. I'm sure people who are better than maths already know. Yeah, so going to bring them out at a 6.5 overall, which I think is fair for this candidate. I thought it was a logical, well-argued essay, which is sort of, I could follow clearly their line of thinking and everything made sense to me. And they showed me their opinion. They covered all the topics. It's just, as I said before, their grammar just needs a little bit of work and it got a little bit weaker towards the end.